So we're gonna get right into it here for the pick'ems for college football. We got 5 games on tap. We're gonna try to see if we can keep that 5 game going throughout the week, which I think now as the season rolls along, that'll probably be easier
Should
to
be able
do.
to.
It's easier to do and everything like that. For myself overall, right now, the first two weeks, I'm pretty good.
Oh,
Uh, 7-3,
okay.
7-3. Probably could have easily went 5-0 last week, but Kansas and Florida,
Oh Lord.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
Kansas and Florida messed it up for your boy, but all good, all good. So we'll keep it rolling though,
Mm.
man. So first game on tap. Speaking of the ACC, we've been keeping talking about them a lot here. Big game down there in the A. We got 12th ranked Clemson, who, like I said, struggled a bit against Troy, going up against Georgia Tech. This is a big game, man. Big game. I don't know about you, which I'm pretty sure you probably agree with me on this, but I think that this Georgia Tech team can make a lot of noise this year in the ACC. I know
Mm.
there's Clemson and there's Miami, yeah, there's SMU. I think Georgia Tech is in that conversation, bro. That's just me. I think they're in that conversation. Who you got in this one?
I definitely think they can be in that conversation. This game right here is going to let us know a lot about Georgia Tech and if they can enter into that conversation. I'm taking Tech. I'm taking Tech. Uh, Kind of hard for me to pick Clemson. That's just a personal thing for me. But uh, no, man, I'm gonna take Tech at home. I think Jamal Haynes, Haynes King, they're that Georgia Tech's running attack. It's it is simple what they do running the football, but the motions, the shifts, the different people that they have running the football, the +1 in the run game because they have the quarterback, Haynes King, running the ball as well. It is a lot on the defense. There's a lot of things that these guys have to look for and watch as far as this offense when they're on the football field. And then you have guys on the perimeter like a Malik Rutherford, like a Eric Rivers who can go out there and make plays down the field catching the football. I think this is a perfect recipe. And I think Clemson's going to play better because of how they looked last week against Troy. But Kate Covenant really hasn't fired me up this year, over the last 2 weeks. Give me Tech at home, man. I'm taking Georgia Tech. Remember the wreck.
I like that. I can't sit up here and say that I think Tech might be one of the ones to make some noise in the ACC and not pick them. Um, so I'm gonna go with Georgia Tech too. Just the fact them being at home for this one. This is the first time Clemson going on the road. They've had 2 games at home. Them going on the road down there to Atlanta. Sure, it's gonna be an early kickoff game, but I think the fans gonna be rocking.
Oh yeah,
This is probably the biggest game that Tech has probably had in a minute that
yeah.
has some real meaning to it. Um, I just think Tech is gonna play kind of almost like a similar game of like how LSU played Clemson. And like you said, Clay Klubnik really hasn't just lit it up like I thought he would
Mm-hmm.
this season so far because they got Clemson arguably probably has outside of Ohio State and what they do, they probably got one of the best wide receiver groups in the
Probably.
country. So I thought they would produce a little bit more, but I'm with you. I'm gonna take Georgia Tech. I'm gonna take Georgia Tech. I think this is the year that they for real make some noise. So why not start off with a bang and take out one of the favorites of the ACC?
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna take Georgia Tech. All right. Next game on tap here. We're gonna go down to the SEC. Big game in this one as well. We got 6th ranked Georgia traveling up to Knoxville to take on 15th ranked Tennessee. Um, like you mentioned, the two new quarterbacks here that's starting. We got Joey Aguilar out there for Tennessee, and then of course Gunnar Stockton that's replacing Carson Beck out there in Georgia. Who you got in this one?
I'm gonna take Tennessee, man. I Tennessee has looked good. Tennessee has been tested, having to play Syracuse. Um, Georgia hasn't played. They played Marshall and they played Austin P. They didn't look great last week against Austin P. There was some weather there as well. Can't believe everything on the weather though. Uh, Austin P is a FCS opponent. I think Austin P is going to be pretty solid this year. Just looking over the first 2 weeks, but it was Austin P. And you scored 28 points against that squad. You haven't been tested, and now you're going on the road to Tennessee, and we know what that's going to be on Saturday. And this would be Gunnar Stockton's first true road test, and you got to go to Knoxville for it. So with that, Tennessee being at home, like you said, Joey Aguilar, the comfortability of being at home in this game, I'm gonna take Tennessee because if this was in Athens, I would take Georgia. But with this being in Knoxville, I'm gonna take Tennessee to pull off an upset and beat the Georgia Bulldogs.
Yeah, uh, Tennessee looks good, man.
It looks solid.
Tennessee looks good. They look real solid. I know a lot of people were probably kind of a little bit nervous to see like how they would look, knowing that of course, the whole incident that happened all over the all season with Nico,
Hmm.
and then him leaving and going out to UCLA and trying to figure out who's going to be the starting QB there. Um, I mean, experience took over, man. I know a lot of people don't know much about Aguilar, but I mean, he's been around, man. He was at UCLA, he was at App State, so he's been around. He's seen a lot of ball. Um, I mean, like you said, man, Gunnar Stockton and that Georgia team going out there, first test of the season is on the road in Neyland, over 100,000 people in orange and white going crazy. It's gonna be tough. It's gonna be tough. Tennessee looks great. I don't know, man. I don't know. But Georgia has won 8 straight.
Yeah.
Until I see it done, I'm taking the dogs. Give me Georgia until I see it done. This might be the year. All right,
Yeah.
if Tennessee beats them, I won't be upset about it. I won't be surprised because I mean the fact that they catch them now instead of like late
Yeah.
October, early November. It's a difference playing Georgia in September and then playing Georgia,
Yeah.
in
Yeah.
November. Like, yeah, it's gonna be a whole different story. But Tennessee might have a chance to go ahead and get this done. But until I see it done, man, I'm gonna take Georgia, man. I'm gonna roll
Which
with
I
Georgia.
feel you. I feel you.
All right, so next game we got here on tap, going down to Florida. Man, who would have thought that this would be such a big game early in
Hmm.
the season, man? But we got undefeated 18th ranked South Florida going down to take on 5th ranked Miami. Of course, as you know, South Florida went down to Gainesville and got that big upset win against the Gators. Of course, like we talked about, Miami had that big win against Notre Dame, and they handled business against Bethune last week. So, big matchup here, man. Who you got in this one?
This is a setup for a game where Miami gives us a head scratcher and goes out here and loses. After having seen what UCF did to Florida and not really taking them serious and going out there losing the football game. I'm taking Miami. I'm gonna take Miami to win the game, but they better be on their P's and Q's because South Florida can play defense. They play hard. They run to the football. They tackle well. And if Miami does not take them serious, they will lose this football game because South Florida is coming in there confident. They already went to Gainesville. They went to Gainesville and won a football game. The Hard Rock and Ben Hill Griffin Stadium is not the same thing. It's not the same home field advantage. So they better come ready to play because if not, the Bulls will be 3-0 walking out of Miami with a dub. And we'll be sitting there looking at Miami and Cristobal again like, same old Miami.
Man,
Same old Miami.
hopefully for me, maybe Florida was looking ahead to LSU because
Possible.
it could be possible. Maybe they was looking ahead and they just, like you said, didn't take South Florida serious. And Miami plays Florida next week, so I'm hoping, like you said, I'm hoping Miami isn't looking ahead to like, well, this South Florida, we gonna worry about Florida.
Next week. Uh-huh.
But we already seen South Florida pull off 2 ranked wins. I mean, first
Yes.
week was Boise State. It was
Yep.
25th ranked, and they put the beating on them real good. You know what I'm saying? And then they go down and they hung around down there in Gainesville and found a way to get the win there, man. But I think it's gonna be closer than expected. That spread is 17.5 for Miami.
Yeah.
Um, South Florida covered last week on the 17.5 spread to Florida. I mean, well, they won outright, so that was even more crazy. I mean, I'm gonna take Miami, but I wouldn't be surprised if they was in like you said, they kind of had you a little nervous where you like, okay,
Yeah.
Miami, like y'all keep saying y'all back, but here y'all go, doing this again,
Uh-huh.
everything like that, man. But we'll see. But I'm with you. I'm gonna take Miami, but I wouldn't be surprised if it's close. All right, next game we got on tap here. Another big matchup in the SEC. This probably would have been the game of the week if somebody would have held up their end of the deal. But it's still a good game nonetheless.
No doubt.
Florida head down there to Baton Rouge. Death Valley taking on third ranked LSU. Man, who you got in this one?
I'm taking LSU. LSU at home at night.
Ugh,
Perfect storm.
yeah.
I do think Florida's going to play better. I think they come out and play inspired. I think they got embarrassed. I think they are embarrassed. So I think they will play better. This could be big for Florida's season. Um, if they win this game, if they lose this game, you could talk about. Granted, it will only be one loss in the SEC, but when you're talking about a playoff spot, if you don't win the SEC, that loss to South Florida and a potential loss to LSU could be the nail in the coffin, and you're going into week 4. So I do think Florida plays better, but LSU, man, they might be. I don't even know if dark horse, if they're even a dark horse, but they could be a dark horse for a natty, man. Their defense looks great, looks way better compared to last year, and all the weapons that Garrett Nussmeier and Brian Kelly have to throw the football to hand the football off to. I just think it's a lot with DJ Lagway going down there to Death Valley at night. I like LSU to get the win.
Yeah, Florida's in trouble, bro. Florida's in trouble. I mean, you you pretty much you couldn't the way that their schedule is set up, they couldn't afford a loss like to South Florida.
Yeah.
Honestly, they really could. They needed all the non-conference wins and some of these that they can get because LSU this week, Miami next week, Texas A&M, Mississippi State, but hey, they upset Arizona State. Then you got the Georgia Florida game in Jacksonville. Finish out the season with Ole Miss, Tennessee, and Florida State.
I mean, them boys, they don't catch a break.
The only little break they get is Kentucky. Probably, you know what I mean?
Maybe they gave Ole Miss. They gave Ole Miss
All
everything
they
they
can
wanted.
handle. So I mean, like, I don't know, man. Florida's in trouble. I'm taking LSU. Um, Night game, Death Valley.
Yeah,
It's gonna be rocking. I mean, this is just it's a recipe for disaster. Even if Florida was still ranked, I think I still would have took LSU because
yeah,
that LSU defense is excuse my language, man, but they play pissed off.
yeah,
Like
yeah,
they are playing like they are starting to play like we ain't gonna be the reason why we lost. Because a
yeah,
lot of times last year they were the reason why they lost. The way that they playing now is like, no, we not gonna be the reason why we lost. If we lose, it ain't gonna be on us.
yeah,
Like the way that they, last week against who, FCF Northwest, whoever it was they was
yeah.
playing, like you said, but that Clemson game, the way that they shut them down like that, bro, they gained all my respect for sure. And that defense was like, we not having that again this year.
Uh huh.
It was that mode like we not having this happen to us again this year. We too talented. We got too many guys to where this shouldn't be happening like that. So um, I think it's still gonna be a good game though. I mean, Florida got the talent there obviously to hang around and everything like that. But I think in the end it's gonna be too much LSU, especially with it being a night game. I'm taking LSU. Man, and then we got the last game here on tap. Also a night game as well. A big rematch from last season, early in the year. That was a great game last year. We get to see it again. We got 16th ranked Texas A&M going up to South Bend this year and playing 8th ranked Notre Dame. We hadn't seen Notre Dame since the Miami game, since the loss. They were off last week, so a week to prepare and get themselves back right. Who you got in this one?
I'm taking Notre Dame. I A&M 2-0. Who have they played? They play UTSA. They play Utah State. Gave them 24, 22 points. They handled the game, won by 20 plus points or whatever in both those games or whatever. 18 and one, 20 and another. But Notre Dame, new quarterback, going on the road, coming back and losing that game by 3 points. As good as Miami looked, Notre Dame looked good as well and came back and lost the game by 3 points on the road. Had the off week. Now they have a chance to redeem themselves against Texas A&M, who at certain points in those games looked a little shaky. Ultimately, they came back and came out and handled their business. But I just think going up to South Bend on the road, playing Notre Dame team who's going to be looking to right the ship, give me Notre Dame. Give me Notre Dame at home. Lee Corso used to say all the time, never go against the Catholic. So I'm roll with shout out to Lee Corso.
Shout out
I'm
Lee
rolling with
Corso.
Lee. I'm taking Notre Dame.
Yeah, yeah. Um, I'm not gonna lie. Like I like Marcel Reed. I like what A&M has. But even for like his first start a couple weeks ago against Miami, CJ Carr, um,
Yeah.
he played pretty poised. I mean, it took him a minute. Of course, that first quarter or so to kind of get everything together. But the fact that he just kept fighting, and they got real close to having a chance at least to get down there for a potential game time field goal or everything like that. But it's just not enough time. Time ran out on them. I think now being going up here at home, a big game at home, the first game up there with that Notre Dame crowd. I'm taking Notre Dame too. I think they'll bounce back with a big way. A&M is going to be solid, but Not yet. I don't think they.
Yeah.
I don't think they'll get there yet. I think I think they'll hang with Notre Dame for about probably majority of the game. I think it's going to be close, a competitive game. But I think in the end, CJ Carr and Notre Dame finds a way to pull it out. I'm gonna take the Irish as well.